What's going on, YouTube? It's Dave's Daily Trades, back with an update for AMC. So first of all, I hope you all had a great weekend and not a bad day for AMC. We were up 1.89% and after hours just started, so after hours doesn't really matter anyways. But some really great things that we're going to be breaking down today. What we are going to be discussing from a technical analysis perspective is the reaccumulation schematic, which I do have up on my screen. We're going to dive into that. We're going to be going over the Spider-Man results for the weekend numbers. We're also going to be going over the DTCC reporting and some updates to this. And then lastly, as always, we're going to be going over unusual whales, options flow, and what is going on with the options data. But without further ado, let's roll into that intro and hop into the technical analysis. And we're back. All right, everyone. So as you know, we had a hell of a day on Friday where we went from a low of $23.70 all the way to a high of $30.71. And now, as you can see, we've been in this trading range here, just about from $28.21 all the way to $30.75. But what we have playing out is actually a reaccumulation, which if we look at the Wyckoff schematic, this is a pause in the uptrend where the composite man will actually reaccumulate some more shares before driving the price back up. And just to give you guys a quick image of what this looks like, we're going to jump to this document right here. And of course, this will be linked in the description below. This is a pretty lengthy article, but it is super helpful. And just Wyckoff and the understanding of this in general has been an amazing tool that I've used over the past just about month and a half now. But what you have is after a run, you have a stopping pattern right here. This pretty much defines your trading range and sets you up for that reaccumulation, which happens. So it's a pause in the uptrend, ownership strengthen, which is exactly what we want to see, and case builds for a new uptrend. So what you have playing out here and what we saw today was actually in pre-market a touch on the resistance level, which was earlier predefined by that sell test up here in the stopping in the advance. You have this creek that gets developed, and we'll jump in the chart. This will make more sense. But where I have us right now is actually the start of this LPS phase here, where we start that bouncing around before we break out of the trading range and move higher. So what we have is literally exactly the same. So today we came up, retested the high of our trading range, and then developed a bull flag. Once we did break out of this bull flag just about at 1 o'clock today, maybe 1:30ish, we did start the upcline, hitting a high of just about $30.16, tapped the upper region of our trading range, and just started to consolidate in this range. So that's why, just jumping back here one more time, I do believe we are in this range right here. Now, I would have liked to see us break out of this range, but that is what I do believe is going to be coming tomorrow. So a breakout of this range would be anywhere from like $31 to $30.50. So I do believe we are going to start that in pre-market tomorrow morning before literally ripping up. So what does that rip look like? No, it's not a straight shot to the moon, as some people would hope. Of course, that would be nice, but life is not that simple, as we all know. And AMC is certainly not that simple. So what I do believe is going to happen is going to be some bouncing around in pre-market early on tomorrow. Kind of like we saw today in pre-market where we did have that bouncing range. We'll jump back to the charts here. Just like over here where we started this bouncing around. I think this is going to be the upper range that we bounce around with. I would expect to see some upward momentum. I do want to see volume starting to trend in the higher direction because volume was a little low today. Nothing to be concerned on, especially on a push to the downside for most of the market, most of the day today rather. But what we do see is I've absolutely been keen on volume lately. So today we did see a downtrend in volume, but literally the last hour of the trading today, we did start the upward trend in volume higher. So if this continues tomorrow, I absolutely think we are going to be breaking back into the $30 range. And I would like to see a target up here. And once we kind of zoom out into the 1 hour chart, it'll make a little bit more sense of this $34 range. So that's what I have on the micro schematic here. And this is only on the 5-minute chart right now. But jumping out to the 1 hour chart, as we know, we broke out of this bull flag on Friday with some great volume, some great upside potential, and everything was looking great. We did get this retest of that trading range, which is acting as a head and shoulders pattern. So if we zoom out here, we can see this play out almost perfectly. So this is our first head right here. We have our shoulder, which also acted as that terminal shakeout phase, which played out beautifully. And what we had today was the formation of our next head. You see this, we touch down on the lower trading range, and we start piling back up. So this inverse head and shoulders is what will be playing out in the next couple of days, and what should actually bring us back up into this $33 to $35 range. Now, I do have that as support because we have been under this level since just about the end of November. I have it on 11/29. So all of December so far, we have been below that $33 range. So once we do break this, I do believe we are going to have some retest of this level before continuing our trend higher and higher. The next range I do have, and this is going a little far out, guys. We'll break down the time frame of when I think this is going to happen as we kind of move out to the 1 day chart as well. But we do have that top level resistance right at $44. But after that, we're into our SOS phase in the larger scale schematic here. So let's take a look at the 1 day chart now. So of course, everything does look a little crazy. So we're actually going to hide all the drawings. But as you guys know, our trading range right now is from $31.51 all the way to just about $61.62. So breaking out of this range is really the first step. Then we can kind of talk about price targets to the upside and all of that. But we're here right now, and things are really looking good. Some good things to note is the past just about 4 trading days, we have had higher closes. So our first close was right around at $24.55. That was after your terminal shakeout. Next day, somewhat flat, but still a higher close. You have another high here on the 16th. Friday was a beautiful day, and then slightly higher today. So tomorrow, I do want to see this pattern continue, which would absolutely confirm and kind of move with our theory that we earlier established, that we are in that reaccumulation phase, breaking back up into our trading range on the larger scale schematic. So we'll put this all back up here. And as you can see, guys, things are really looking good. But I do want to just jump back to our accumulation schematic and how this looks. So what you do have in this LPS phase, you do have a next push, which leads to another LPS, and then another LPS, LPS again. A lot of LPSs, as you know. But this is what I think is going to be playing out tomorrow, this move right here. So we'll get 13 LPS. That 13 LPS, I do believe, is going to be right on this range, right between $34 and $35, where we're going to bounce around, and then that's going to launch us into phase C. Now, I was reading some comments over the weekend, and as you guys know, I was incredibly bullish for this entire week. Now, some people were saying we're hitting $200, $300 this week. That would be beautiful, but I see that highly unlikely. I do believe, though, we are going to start making moves into this possibly $40, even $50 range by the end of the week if this reaccumulation schematic plays out the way I think. But that will lead to a very interesting week ahead. And I do want to just bring in the schematic that we've been talking about for just about a month now, where I think we are, where we're headed, and what it's going to look like exactly. Because we talked about the micro reaccumulation schematic. Now this is the larger scale. And my goal here is to really break this down daily for us, even a couple of days included into those micro accumulations and reaccumulations, distributions, all that good stuff. But it's really all in how these micro scale timeframes play into the larger scale picture. So where I do believe it is, and of course the spring here, this was a terminal shakeout, so a much larger dip than just a spring here. But I do believe we are entering out of this test phase into phase D. And this is what I do expect to be playing out over the course of the next couple of days, which again plays into that micro timescale reaccumulation phase, which should bring us right into phase D and really play out until we get up into that SOS phase. Now, that SOS phase is going to be at the top of our trading range. Like we said before, just about from like $48 to $52 where we bounce around. And that brings us to next week. So, of course, guys, we're going to take this day by day. We're not going to go too far in advance, but things are looking phenomenal. Now, breaking down technicals here, we do have a MACD crossover that just started today. So that should absolutely bring some additional buying volume to the table tomorrow, which, of course, guys, always helps our case because volume today was, where am I here? 1220. We were at 66 million shares traded today, which comparatively speaking, Friday we saw 144 million. So we want to see that volume continue to rise in the right direction and bring us to the freaking promised land. Now, looking down here on the daily chart for the RSI is trending in the right direction, and look what we have playing out here. That looks like a George W. I love to see it. But anyways, we are headed into that bullish territory. Of course, my typical rule of thumb is above 50, we are bullish. Below 50, we are bearish. And of course, guys, we are still recorrecting from that terminal shakeout phase. So we are making waves. We're currently sitting at 45. Potentially tomorrow, I'd like to see us move past 50, but we will see how it goes. Now, last thing. Of course, volume has been dried out all the way in phase B, and now it is slightly picking up on the daily chart. So this uptrend that we are seeing, this absolutely has to continue, or else it's not going to be pretty. But I know it's going to be pretty because I know I'm a psychic. I know exactly how it's going to play out. No, I don't know that for sure. But nonetheless, guys, things are looking phenomenal from a technical perspective. Now, a few additional things I do want to jump into. First of all, the freaking Spider-Man movie. To everyone who, A, went to an AMC theaters, and B, posted some pictures and tagged, like, Charles Gasparino, I freaking love you guys. Absolutely love to see that stuff. And the results came in, and there was 7 million people who went to AMC on Thursday through Sunday. That's absolutely insane. And new records were set on Thursday, Friday, and also Saturday. To put this into perspective, this gets absolutely incredible here. They did 7 million tickets in Q1 alone of 2021. So seeing that we just did 7 million on a 3-day time frame, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so 4-day time frame, than we did in 1 quarter of 2021, just shows that AMC theaters are absolutely not dead, and they are here to stay. This person right here on Twitter, I'll link this in the description, really just gave a great visual as to what this looked like. And let's blow this up for you folks. I mean, looking back into like 2019, look at this. Lion King, just about the same as Spider-Man No Way Home. No Way Home. Jeez, that was terrible. And also beating Star Wars. And also, look at this uptrend. I know. I have to chart everything. That's just how it goes now. I swear to God, I'm in the shower now, drawing charts of how the water falls. Too much information, but nonetheless, guys, we are trending in the right direction. Movie theaters are not dead. We're not going anywhere. You bears out there, if you're watching this, I feel bad for your short positions. No, I don't. You're going to burn. Anyways, I do want to hop into the options flow before I let you all bounce. So we did have a little bit of bearish activity for today, and this is for the premiums of over 100,000. But nonetheless, guys, it is what it is. Most of the bearish activity actually came from the 12/23 expiration, which, of course, this is a short trading week. You guys are not going to be trading on Friday. It's a holiday. Markets are closed. So that's why we're not seeing 12/24. Yeah, 12/24 for the expiration points here, because it's not a trading day. But anyways, that was really the big expiration that was printing today, and a lot of sold calls. So I think it's a lot of just profit taking from what happened on Friday, We saw a little bit of flat activity, so some people are just getting out of their plays. Nothing to really worry about here. But breaking it down on the daily here, and this is including all of the calls and puts with a minimum premium of $1,000. So that's why the data differentiates from what we just discussed. But number of calls versus puts, calls we're absolutely printing today, 76%. Even the volume of calls versus put, absolutely bullish, guys. We love to see it. But breaking it down by strike, we see the $30 strike was just absolutely the target today. The Bears were absolutely not in control. Bulls had it today. And we closed very close. We closed just under $30. So close enough, guys. It is what it is. That's really just more of a psychological level. But breaking down expirations that were being targeted today, you can see 12/23, lots of activity, which is why I think it's going to be a really crazy week. Now, some of you may call me crazy. I don't think I'm crazy, but it is what it is, guys. So really, I think this week and specifically next week are going to be a week to remember for sure. But guys, as always, let's take it day by day. We'll be breaking it down for you folks, and I'm not going anywhere. But anyways, guys, see you folks tomorrow. Get ready for a freaking battle. Peace out.